Sheikh, go ahead, inshallah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma lakal hamdu wa la ni'amika al-azima wa alaika al-jasima. Wa nusalli wa nusallimu ala sayyidina wa habibina Muhammad, sayyidul anbiya wal mursaleen, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. My dear brothers and sisters, it's my pleasure once again to share with you another episode in our series of du'as to power your day. And we are still in dhikr. More especially, we are talking about the virtues of dua. And this time I have chosen two very profound sacred traditions. We call them Hadith Qudusi. Hadith Qudusi is not from the Quran, it is a tradition narrated by the Prophet from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the idea from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but the words Allah ordered him to say, and so the Prophet uses his words to convey what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted him to say to us, to narrate to us. So Allah tells us in a sacred hadith, in a hadith Qudusi, that we must never despair of His mercy. Islam is the way of hope. There is no reason for us to ever despair of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As human beings, every human being is honored with that divine breath, because God created Adam alayhi salam from the dust. He breathed into that mold of clay from his breath. So because by virtue of the fact that the spirit, the soul within us is from the breath of the Rahman, there is no reason for us to despair as long as we call upon Allah, we turn to Him. Beautiful concept conveyed here in the sacred tradition. Imagine how it opens the doors of mercy wide open for sinners, no matter how ugly, how enormous, how massive the sins are. Ya ibn Adam, innaka ma da'awtani wa rajawtani ghafartu laka ala ma kana minka wa la ubali. Ya ibn Adam, لو بلغت ذنوبك عنان السماء ثم استغفرتني غفرت لك ولا أبالي. يا ابن آدم لو أنك أتيتني بقراب الأرض خطايا ثم لقيتني لا تشرك بي شيئا لأتيتك بقرابها مغفرة. O son of Adam, as long as you call upon me and set your hope in me, I will forgive you no matter what you have done. Son of Adam, if your sins were to reach the skies, and yet you were to ask forgiveness of me, I will forgive you. Son of Adam, if you were come to me with the earth full of sins, and yet did not associate anyone in worship with me, I will come to you with the earth full of forgiveness. Meaning, the salvation is dependent on our refusal to associate, to stay away actually from shirk. But shirk itself is an unforgivable sin. So let us get rid of shirk, purge your heart from shirk, and you firmly believe in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, establish Tawheed. And once we do that, we have the means of salvation. We don't have to lose hope in the mercy of Allah. In another tradition, again this is a sacred tradition, Hadith Qudusi, Allah orders us to pray to Him, not just for physical, spiritual needs. The Sahaba were in the habit of calling of Allah for everything. Of course, they will put forth the best of their efforts. Even if they need salt, they will pray to Allah, even though they will do everything to get it. Every little things, little and big things, they will invoke the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and call upon Him. So call upon Allah for every one of our needs, whether physical, spiritual, or whatever. And Allah assures us that His treasures are infinite, inexhaustible treasures, yes. And even if He were to grant the petition of every single petitioner gathered in a place, from the first man to the last, and all of humankind in between, if they were all together in one place and turn to Allah and petition for His favors, and if He were to grant each one what he or she asked for, that would not diminish anything from the immense treasure of Allah. It will not exhaust, except as much as a needle dropped into the ocean, how much water it will diminish from that ocean. So, of course, even that is an exact, because Allah's not even a needle's worth of water can be diminished by human beings calling upon Allah. Ya ibadi, kullukum lallun illa man hadaytuhu, fastahduni ahdikum. Ya ibadi, kullukum jayun illa man at'amtuhu, fastat'imuni ut'imukum. Ya ibadi, kullukum marin illa man kasawtuhu, fastaksuni aksukum. And of course, I have dropped a few lines because it's too long, but I am bringing to the essence. Ya Allah, Ya ibadi, law anna awwalakum wa akhirakum wa insakum wa jinnakum qamu fi sa'idin wahidin fasa'aluni fa'ataytu kulla insanin mas'alatahu ma naqasa dhalika mimma indi illa kama yanqusul mikhyatu idha udkhila al-bahr. O my servants, every one of you is gone astray, except the one I have guided. So ask me to guide you, I will guide you. Very important. Seek guidance from Allah. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Next point, O my servants, every one of you is hungry except those I have fed. So ask me for food. Of course, we have to go out and work, but yet we need to call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so that our effort is blessed by Him. So ask me for food, I will provide for you. O my servants, every one of you is naked, without clothes, except those whom I have clothed. So ask me, I will clothe you. So ask Allah for every one of His need after using the resources He has given us. O my servants, if the entire humanity from the first man to the last were to gather in a single place, and if they were all to petition me for their needs, and I were to grant each one of them what they requested, that would not diminish anything from my treasury, except as much as a needle can diminish from the water of the ocean. Imagine the inexhaustible treasures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we should never be shy. We should never be holding back our prayers, our calling, our petitions, our supplications. But of course, we need to be careful not to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for things, exaggerate our needs. We need to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala what we need for sustenance, sustaining us in this world and the next life. Al-afu wal-afiyah. Good in this world and good in the next world. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honor me and you to be always calling upon the Lord, seeking His mercy, forgiveness and grace, and petitioning to Him for all of our needs, physical and spiritual. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.